But didn't Justice Barrett kind of jump all over General Sauer about that very question, saying, are you implying that every person, all 50 states and the territories would have to file a lawsuit? I mean, she kind of walked him to the edge of absurdity, where in order to establish standing, they would have to go from state to state, jurisdiction to jurisdiction. And I think that the Solicitor General sort of lost his way in that discussion, because I understood at the top his very short statement prior to the question period, where he said, people, and he's right, he's not wrong, where he's saying people shop for jurisdictions. If you're a liberal, you're going to go to San Francisco. If you're conservative, you're going to go to Texas or Florida to find a sympathetic court. Right. But I did think Justice Barrett's, and she's getting holy hell on the right wing blogosphere this morning because she had the temerity to question the validity of this administration's perspectives. Getting back to, so specifically the birthright citizenship, in my mind, again, was not really addressed. My assumption is, and I'm not a sci, we're not experts, but we do play them, in cartoons. I get it. But my guess is that
and Rumble.
My sense is that the entire court believed that this was unconstitutional. This was, and just sort of pushed it aside. No, would you disagree?
I didn't get that sense, because it's very interesting that Thomas and even the other conservative justices, Kavanaugh,
Alito,
didn't mention demerits at all. The only ones that harp on it were Kagan and Jackson and of course Sotomayor, who made a big deal of it. I think Sotomayor at one point told him, you lost everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and the point on that is that you appeal the merits of the case if you lose the case, right? And you appeal it through the normal process unless it's important enough and it's urgent enough that you do a certiorari after judgment, which is bypass the appeal process, go directly to the Supreme Court and says, this is of extreme importance to the nation, and we need you to hear the case, right? But guess what? The people who have to do that are the people who lose. And administration has shown zero interest of going that way. They're very happy with having this work out through the court system. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but there are some people, whether they are in a civil lawsuit or maybe a criminal case in New York or maybe Washington, D.C., that will use delay tactics to keep this from actually being here in the merits. I've heard that's happened a few times.
Not in this country.
Once or twice, perhaps. Yeah.
Apparently, and has something having to do with an election coming up, things like that. Anyway, so they seem to be perfectly happy to let this play out in the courts and to delay it as much as possible, because I think in their hearts of hearts they know that when it gets to the Supreme Court they're going to lose. But now, I did not get a sense from the hearing yesterday on how any of the other justices would come out. I mean, it's clearly that Sotomayor said it a bunch of times that this is wholly unconstitutional. It goes against our precedent. Likewise with Kagan and likewise with Jackson. But the other ones were less vocal about that.